A true American patriot, someone familiar to all of us, General David Howell Petraeus. General Petraeus is a former director of the Central Intelligence Agency and a highly decorated four-star general, having served more than 37 years in the United States Army. When historians examine the breadth of his service, the strength of his courage, and the scope of his leadership, a number of superlatives quickly emerge. Many argue that he is the most effective military commander since General Dwight Eisenhower, and drew comparisons with our nation's most decorated battle captains, Ulysses Grant, John Pershing, and George Marshall. In our post-9/11 world, General Petraeus' influence on our military is unmatched. He completely reshaped American military tactics and promoted our nation's counterinsurgency strategy. His pioneering approach focused less on force and more on protecting the lives of civilians. Indeed, the evocative phrase, winning the hearts and minds of the people, reflected the spirit of his strategy. During the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, he became the face of America's military, the key strategist behind the 2007 troop surge. That same year, Time magazine ranked him among its runners-up for Person of the Year. And a few months later, the German magazine Der Spiegel named him America's most respected soldier. Later, during his tenure with the CIA, he fostered closer ties with the military. He took the long view. He imagined that the world in 15 years, as the United States deals with counter-terrorism, as well as new concerns from the Pacific Rim, the Eurozone, and beyond. It was the world he foresaw that guided his leadership, and our nation's security remains the beneficiary. General Petraeus' badges and decorations are both numerous and impressive. They include the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, Army Distinguished Service Medal, Defense Superior Service Medal, and Legion of Merit. General Petraeus is a graduate of the United States Military Academy and earned an MPA and PhD degrees from Princeton University. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you our distinguished speaker, General David Petraeus.
Thank you. Good evening to you all. Thanks for that very warm welcome, and thanks, Mr. President, for your kind introduction. More importantly, Max, thanks for your visionary, energetic, and inspirational leadership of this great institution, a true national asset. And thanks to you and your team for your wonderful efforts to demonstrate such sincere appreciation and impressive support for those who have served our country in uniform. We are all grateful to you for that. I am very pleased to be here tonight with Trojan Nation, and I think it's a nation, not just a family, Max, with all due respect, because USC stands out as a leader in the effort to support our country's families, veterans, active duty,
Thank you.
and to support those who currently serve our nation in uniform and will serve in the future as well. In the past day and a half, I've been able to get acquainted with a number of your programs. Speaking of that, by the way, where are those intrepid ROTC cadets who did PT with me this morning? Please stand up. Well, it was a privilege to run with them, and as you can see, they and I are still standing. Despite personally experiencing the stairs in the Coliseum, I never knew how many there were. I want you to know we did 4 sets, and I also want you to know I look forward to spending time with all of the cadets tomorrow. In any event, from your impressive ROTC program to your world-class military social work initiatives, and your recent serving those who served endeavor, to your Office of Veterans Affairs, and Student Veterans of America chapter, USC's programs are truly exemplary, and I know that all here appreciate that deeply. Well done on that as well. Again, it truly is a privilege to be here with you this evening, all the more so given my personal journey over the past 5 months. I join you keenly aware that I am regarded in a different light now than I was a year ago, when President Petraeus and Jane Harmon kindly invited me to speak at this event. I'm also keenly aware that the reason for my recent journey was my own doing. So please allow me to begin my remarks this evening by reiterating how deeply I regret and apologize for the circumstances that led to my resignation from the CIA and caused such pain for my family, friends, and supporters. But tonight is not about me. It is about your veterans, your active duty military, and your ROTC cadets, and USC's impressive efforts to recognize and support them and their families, particularly those who have sacrificed so much in the difficult campaigns of the past decade. As one who was truly privileged to serve with many in this room, in Cold War Europe, Haiti, the Balkans, and above all, Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as various other places in the Middle East, I am very grateful for the opportunity to say a few words this evening. But before continuing, I should note that a Southern California native briefed me before coming out here on the USC-UCLA rivalry. Hey, I used to do intelligence. And it appears that this is as emotional a relationship as that between Army and Navy each football season. In fact, discussion of the USC-UCLA rivalry reminds me of a story I heard this afternoon. Apparently, there was very nearly trouble at a party downtown attended by some USC students a few weeks ago. The way I heard it, one of the USC students leaned over to a guy next to him at the party and asked, "Want to hear a UCLA joke?" Giving the USC student a hard look, the guy next to him replied, "Before you tell that joke, you should know something. I am 6'5" tall, and I weigh 230 pounds, and I go to UCLA. The guy right here next to me is 6'2", weighs 225, and he's a Bruin too. And then the guy next to him is 6'3", weighs 230, and you guessed it, he goes to UCLA as well. Now, you still want to tell that joke? No, I guess not, the USC student said. Not if I'm going to have to explain it 3 times.